guy was in Casino. He's the guy from Goodfellas. So they're all telling De Niro, your movies suck, you're washed up, which, by the way, it is a dose of he needs to hear that. Everyone needs to hear you're washed up. It's a fun insult to throw it like an older person because it's invariably true. There's nothing. I wanted to go down there and yell very specific. Why did you do about my father? Do you need money? So you have Robert De Niro getting literally thrown around by the MAGA people, just totally getting trashed by these people. There's like a ton of cops protecting Robert De Niro from the MAGA. By the way, people are getting like lit on fire in the subway, thrown on the tracks. There was a machete attack at the Times Square McDonald's. And all of these police are on like Robert De Niro detail, protecting this old guy who's just screaming and yelling outside of a courthouse. Robert De Niro is not involved in the case. Want to remind everybody, Trump did not pay off Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro is not an employee of the federal government. He has zero reason to be there. And then the cops are all like helping Robert De Niro across the street as he gets totally pilloried by the Trump people. It is fun, though. You know, if you've ever read Bonfire of the Vanities, one of my favorite books, I'm a lifelong New Yorker. I love Tom Wolfe. And that book is about a banker. I believe it's Sherman McCoy. Yeah, and he is driving through the Bronx, and he hits a young African-American child and then thinks he's gotten away with it, but he hasn't gotten away with it. They trace it back to him because he makes a mistake. When the police come and ask him, about his car, he, makes this kind of mistake. He says the car's not in the building, that he's having it tuned up or something. And the police then find the car. It's pretty routine how it happens. There weren't, he could have gotten away with it probably had he not made that mistake, had he just showed them the car. There wasn't really scratches on the car or anything. The point is, the book culminates in a trial where you have all these New York characters just all over the place. It becomes a big civil rights issue. You have that. You have this guy's life spins out of control. It's Tom Wolfe's best book. The guy's life spins out of control. He's this, master of the universe, Wall Street banker, lives on Park Avenue, has a wife. I believe he was cheating on her when he hit the kid in the Bronx. And then his life just descends into chaos. And that's kind of the vibe of this trial a little bit, except Tom Wolfe never would have been able to imagine this scene, or maybe he would have, that the president of the United States, Donald Trump, is being tried in a hush money case with an OnlyFans model named Stormy Daniels. But it's a very right out of Bonfire of the Vanities thing. And outside the courthouse, you have crying Asian women screaming. You have Blacks for Trump. You have Robert De Niro, a, dare I say, washed-up actor who's 80 years old with a 1-year-old child. And instead of being home with that child, he's now part of the Biden-Harris campaign. And Robert De Niro is screaming in front of the court. It is a scene, and by the way, I witnessed some of it on foot. I did witness some of this scene. It does feel like New York at its best. It really does. It feels like New York at its best. People going, fuck you. You're washed up. Your movies suck. How great is that? A guy with the accent. And you know that guy loves Goodfellas. You know that guy doesn't mean that. That guy loves Goodfellas. That guy doesn't love Goodfellas? What are you, nuts? But he hasn't made a Goodfellas in a while. And when that guy goes, your movies suck. And these people, So Donald Trump convicted, I think, goes the other way. I'm going to make a prediction that this was a grave error. Bringing this case was a grave error. I could be wrong. Maybe I will be wrong. I do not know. But I will tell you this, I think people get more excited about Trump now than they have been. In keeping with older people who are about to leave the planet, just letting people have it. A guy I've always kind of liked, Richard Dreyfuss, goes on a rant at a Jaws screening. Now, every year they have this Jaws Fest. And in this type of, and I don't know if this is technically Jaws